Hello everybody, my name is Taki and I am a part-time student at the School of Library and Information Studies of the University of Alberta. And in the other part of my time, I am a historian of Russia and Eastern Europe. Over the past 8 years, I have held a number of teaching and research positions at different Canadian universities, including the U of A. Being part of the Canadian university milieu has always been my goal. At the same time, I have to say that it has been increasingly difficult recently to obtain a permanent teaching position, tenure track or tenured position at Northern American University. It was perhaps necessary for me at a certain moment to start thinking about diversifying my employment profile with the goal of remaining part of that university or academic context. So it was in this situation that I came to the idea of becoming a student at the School of Library and Information Studies, because I thought to myself that I have always spent a lot of time at the libraries. Perhaps I spent most of my adult life at the libraries doing research outside of my home, of course. So it would perhaps be natural for me to try to change the site of the reference desk, so to say, at a certain moment. And so I came to SLIS in September 2013, and since then I have tried to select those courses that would best prepare me for becoming an academic librarian, preferably a subject librarian in Slavic and East European studies, which is my area of specialization in history. At the same time, I have considered the possibility of certain types of archival employment. I have certain experience of archival work, and I think that certain courses that I took at SLIS over the past 2.5 years, such as records keeping practices, for example, might make me potentially qualified for certain types of archival employment. Even though I understand that there are specialized programs of archival studies that prepare archivists here in Canada. I have to say that due to probably a relatively small size of our School of Library and Information Studies at U of A, the course offerings there have not always been as diversified as one might expect them to be. Nevertheless, those 13 courses that I have taken so far give me a sense of what are the basic values, what are the basic ideas, what are the basic competences that are expected nowadays from librarians and that librarians expect from each other. I have to say that I have not always been happy about what I learned about contemporary librarianship. In particular, I tend to be critical of the tendency of librarians nowadays to emphasize almost overwhelmingly access to information, somewhat at the expense of their traditional educational functions. Now, the fact that I have spent about 5 years of my life teaching full-time explains perhaps where this criticism comes from. I don't think, however, that it disqualifies this criticism automatically. Nowadays, that technological change threatens librarians with extinction, or at least when it threatens certain aspects of librarianship métier, such as the reference work, for example. It is absolutely crucial for librarians to focus on those aspects of their profession that are based on the direct interpersonal communication with library patrons and readers. And I think that educational functions and readers' advisory functions certainly belong to this category. So it was with these expectations and with these ideas that I continue to be a part-time student at the School of Library and Information Studies, and I look forward for any type of employment at an academic library, and then also I look forward to certain job opportunities at the archives. Thank you for your attention.